first match is Champion versus Lucio Fulci. It's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg, so finally we're going to get some Protoss representation on this stream specifically. This one today. We're going to be seeing some Protoss, which of course I play and I love. Indeed. We're gonna hop right into it. I should probably, okay, hold on, let me stream our first match. Like I said, Champion versus, oh, let me, in our top right corner of Eclipse, we have Champion playing the yellow Protoss. I think that's, there's so many weird variations on colors. Why is that so big? There's so many weird variations on colors in Brood War now. I can barely tell if this is like supposed to be yellow, or if this is mustard, or if this is like yellowish olive. But either way, bottom right we have a player with a classic color. We have Lucio Fulci playing the red Zerg. Let me turn off the mute panel so we have as much vision as possible. We're going to see where this game takes us. Okay, we have our pylon here. Usually when you're setting up the fast expansion, you want your pylon either here or here. But you know what? Again, I don't want to. This is a we're here, have fun, watch some games. Problem is, I'm a Protoss player, so I'm going to be looking at this. I actually know what I'm talking about, kind of. I say kind of because I really don't. I'm not a coach. I'm like tier 3, so anything I say, just period, should be taken with a grain of salt. But a little bit less salt when if I'm talking about Protoss, because I play that race. I make these mistakes. Well, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Lucio Fulci's getting their hatchery first. Roughly, I guess that's, yeah, 12 hatch. Timing, roughly, I think is the intention. Champion's getting their cannon up. As far as walls go, this is decent. We're going to see the gateway down here, so, yeah, you know what, that's decent. That's okay. I mean, I think the Zerglings can kind of run up into here. You have a... Oh no, there's a cannon there. I guess the gateway can go there, and you kind of have just a 2 zealot wide. I'm not sure. Again, we're in weird wall mode, and I can't judge weird wall mode. Meanwhile, we have our spawning pool halfway done for our Zerg. Overlord scouts straight up to see if the Protoss is evil and snuck an expansion in the top left. Overlord starts moving in. Probably will just be able to just hide up here, see the cannon, but there's a chance it may get too bold and stray too close to the sun. Nexus is finally going down for our Protoss player. And we should be getting into a regular game here on out. Looks like the gateway's gonna be coming down, I'm guessing. Right, yep, there, gateway. So, yeah, I guess this works. I think, actually, unfortunately, that a Zergling can get up into here, but I'm not positive on that one. I'm willing to be corrected. I do know that you need probably at least 2 zealots to block here, so, we got there, is what I'm trying to say, is we did get there. Of course, none of that really matters because Lucio Fulci is saying, you know what? I'm just gonna macro. You're a Protoss player. You're scared of me this early in the game. I'm gonna get my hatcheries in my lair, and I don't care what you're doing. Do whatever you want. Build 2 cannons and a forge before like your Nexus. Build a gateway. I don't care. And it's paying off. Because, I mean, we have 3 macro hatches up. Lucio Fulci, they didn't spring. They didn't go for the scenic third base. They said, you know what? I'm going to be a little careful. I'm going to get my 3rd hatchery in my main. You know? You can get it in your 3rd. That's a little risky. You don't need it to be in your 3rd. You can get your 4th at your 3rd. I don't know where I'm going with this tangent, but it's okay. We have our lair coming up. Oh, actually, I think maybe Zerglings can get in through there as well. An unfortunate positioning. Usually you want your forge on the bottom and your gateway up top. Just for future reference to to any Protoss players in the chat who are wondering why I'm being so critical of this wall. And the reason why I'm so critical of the wall is that walling in as Protoss is literally the hardest part about the race. Is this exact matchup, these specific 3 buildings are harder than anything else in this game. I will fight anyone on that. It's like, oh, well, what about Marine Medic Micro? No. Pylon Forging Gateway, hardest thing. Oh, but what about, like, Muta Scourge Micro and ZVZ? No. These 3 static, unmoving buildings are impossible to place correctly. Because every time a new map comes out, Muta Scourge Micro, Marine Medic Micro, Vultures and Tanks, Reavers, those are map neutral. You can do that on any map. Is this probe really going to take this base? But you can do that micro on any map. These 3 buildings, every time a new map gets made, Protoss players collectively have to like go into the map data to figure out how to place these 3 buildings, because if they don't know, they can just die. You hate to see it. I've missed so much of this game. I go on one break and I lose my goddamn mind. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's 10 a.m. What the fuck? Okay, there's a bunch of Scourge coming out. But there's Corsairs, so Champion's okay. We have a lot of cannons, so Champion's still okay. First Corsair's gonna come out, it's gonna scout, it's gonna see a lot of... Well, these Mutalisks are kind of hiding. So the Corsair doesn't get the full scout on the base, but it will be able to kill this Overlord. Oh. And that's gonna supply block Lucio. And the Mutas, wow, these Mutas are sneaking out. Unfortunately, let's see, there's no cannon. Oh, no, there is a cannon by the mineral line and a cannon. So Champion literally is better at this game than I am. If this were me, I would have like 1 cannon up here, and I'd be like, I built a cannon, I'm safe. And then 13 Mutalisks come into my mineral line and kill me. So like, literally better than I am at this game. He has 1 cannon. He's immortal. He's safe from the Mutalisks. Also, he's just gonna be able to get all these Overlords for relatively free. But here come the Mutalisks, and there's the Dark Templar. So oh, they come in a very unfortunate angle here. They're gonna take a lot of damage, but they are gonna be able to get up to the mineral line. There's gonna be a probe transfer here. The cannon is gonna be taking out a couple of them, but that is a lot of Mutalisks. Corsairs run back. 3 Corsairs. This should be cleaned up relatively easily. They'll be able to take out... Ooh, they accidentally focus fire down on the Nexus by just enough time for this cannon to shave off even more health. Gets all the Corsairs coming up, and they're going to run away and take some damage on the way out. No, they're committing. They're trying to kill as many probes as possible, but Champion has been macroing really well, and they have a lot of probes available. And yeah, they are taking this base. So, you know what? Lucio Fulci's gonna just run across the map. All these Mutalisks are deadly in deadly health. Scourge are gonna have to come out, and they will be able to... Yep. Looks like, yeah, well, okay, I guess only 2 connect. But here comes the Zealot move out, and there's nothing here to defend Lucio Fulci from the ground. He's been so focused on the Corsair count that he has not paid attention to what's going on the hold dirt. Yeah, and I guess he just... Okay, Okay, a Queen's Nest and a Hydralisk Den are going down, but those aren't going to protect him from the Zealots, who are going to tear everything apart. And the Mutalisks are going to get completely... I mean, like, again, there's a cannon here. He's literally invincible against Mutalisks. 4 more are coming up in the main, but there's a whole pack of Corsairs here to defend this. Lucio's down to... Well, I guess he has 2 bases up, but really only 1 is mining. As the Zealots are going to be able to move in and start picking off drones. Like, even... Okay, they're focusing down the Spore Colony. The Mutalisks are just... No, that is the worst possible angle for the Zerg. And 6 Scourge are coming out. Because Lucio, I guess, just has to get rid of these Corsairs, because as long as the Corsairs are up, his Mutas can't kill the Zealots. As long as he's making Scourge, he also can't kill the Zealots. 6 drones go down, and I mean, it's just really a matter of time for Champion to just, like, for Lucio Fulci to be like, okay, yeah, this is the game. Wow, well, I guess the Mutas do barely survive. The Scourge do clean them up, so Lucio Fulci does have the potential to not immediately die, but he's going to have to build up from a nearly 6 times worker lead from Champion, who also has a weird hidden 3rd base. Yeah, the DT will eventually fall, but all that money is going to be spent rebuilding up drones. I mean, we have a gateway explosion, more Corsairs coming out. It's just the numbers, man. The numbers, Mason. Oh, Lucio is doing the Hail Mary hidden 3rd base. This is why I say put those units. Put those units that are basically free. At this stage in the game, a Zealot's basically free. Throw a Zealot here, you don't have to worry about your Zerg opponent getting that base for free. Oh, DT hidden on the map. The Mutas are going to try to fly over again, but once again, there is 1 cannon. This is really the John McClane of cannons. Yeah, and then this wave of attack should probably finish off the main base. There's still no sunken colonies here to defend. That's 6 drones being hatched there, so again, they don't fare too well against Zealots. Corsairs are going to come in. Mutas will be able to start picking at this base, but the cannons are cleaning up. Yeah. Oh, bad focus fire there. Hits one of the full health Mutas. And hits, yeah. So he will clear the cannons, but he lost all his Mutalisks, and he's about to lose his whole base. So that should be GG there. Champion is going to take the first game against their Zerg opponent. Switch back to our splash. Our next matchup is going to be Champion versus Lithian. Lithian? Did I put that name in right? Yeah, I did. Okay. So our next game is going to be Champion versus Lithian. Lithian. Which is going to be a PvT. Protoss versus Terran on CPL. On Eclipse, I mean. Well, CPL is in Eclipse if you rearrange some letters around. So we'll just hop right into it. Get these games going. Yeah. Alright. In the bottom right corner, as I fix a name on an overlay, is Champion switching sides, saying I can play just as well at the bottom half of Eclipse as the Olive Protoss, I think. This may be mustard. I have no idea what the difference between those colors are. I'm 60% sure this is olive. But his opponent in the top right is Lithian, playing as the blue Terran. We're just gonna see how this game goes. A bit of an odd both players playing super standard. There's the pylon. Supply depot's going down. Nothing too crazy. No one's going for anything. Well, I guess it's too early to even tell if anyone's going for anything crazy. Guess we'll see if Champion decides to build 2 gateways or something. There's the first one. Oh, and then he's just gonna go scout. No 2-gate, no rushes, just a clean standard macro game. Lethean also is gonna start their barracks. There it is. And then get into probably, yeah, do basic Terran stuff. Both players playing super standard, refinery, etc., etc. Yeah, so as soon as this finishes, we'll either see if it's a zealot, or if he just goes straight to Cybernetics Core for Dragoons. It is a zealot, so he can use it the pressure. He can use it to defend if he thinks he might get attacked, but he gets a probe up into the main. It does some damage to some SCVs, it looks like. Yeah, poor guy got hurt. And we have the, oh gee, the Manor Pylon. Brilliant move. Traps the SCV in. So much, huge mining loss here. Unfortunately, we can't see just how much. Actually, no, we can roughly calculate. Oh, and he does cancel the pylon, or it dies. I think that should have been I think that's a cancel, though. I don't know if you're supposed to cancel the Manor Pylon. I don't do it often enough. Usually when I do it, I just let it finish, because it just kind of pays for itself in terms of like limiting your opponent's resources. But I think a valid point can be made for canceling it right before it finishes as well. I'm not sure what this SCV is looking for, unless Lethean is just going for a hidden expansion. And that almost does look exactly like that's what he's doing. In which case, nope, he continues. I think he was just scouting in a roundabout way so that Champion doesn't see it. Alright, we have a second gateway going down. Cybernetics Core is up, so Dragoons are in production. However, our bunker is up, but we only have 1 Marine. Well, we should have a couple Marines coming down soon. No factory yet, no expansion, so Lethean is taking a little bit of their time getting their infrastructure up. And when your opponent is going 2 gateway, they have 2 zealots, and they're making 2 dragoons at a time. Not getting your tech up can be really dangerous. Factory can come out. Okay, so the barracks lifts, and yeah, still no factory being started. I think he might have thought he did it, but maybe he hit the wrong button. That does happen sometimes, and it's very embarrassing. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes these embarrassing moments happen in the second week of preseason in CPL, and you go, "Oh, what the fuck? I forgot my factory," and you just lose. Because with consistent reinforcement with consistent reinforcements, 2 dragoons at a time, there's a bunker with 2 SCVs in it. There's no expansion to pull SCVs from to repair the bunker. Even if you have zealots here, which throw the math off entirely. And yeah, still no factory, so there's nothing even close to coming to scare away the Protoss. So, I mean, if he holds, it's a literal miracle. But unfortunately, mathematically, it just, unless these 2 Marines in this bunker are like hero Marines, and not just like the hero Marines from the campaign, like the hero Marines in a custom map that someone made, Lethean is just going to get run over here, and it looks like that's what is going to happen. A 3rd Marine does pop out, but he does get sliced to bits, as, yeah, Champion can just come up into the main with 5 Dragoons. And SCVs, they can fight Dragoons really well, but not when there's 5 of them. You know, they're very annoying. If you sneak 2 Dragoons up in here, It's very annoying to micro those against SCVs, but when you have 5 Dragoons, the SCVs fall very quickly. GGs are called from both sides, and Champion picks up their second game. In an unfortunate game for Lethean, sometimes you just miss a button, and that happens. That's Brood War. No shame in that. Happens to the best of us. If I've learned anything from watching Artosis' stream, sometimes things just don't happen, and you blame the game. You can just say, you know what? It happens. That's Brood War. Third game is going to be Champion versus Mostar, another PVZ. So we're going to see if Champion can bring the same game they played in their last PVZ and run their opponent over with Corsairs and Scourge. We're going to hop right into it. Alright. In the top right corner of Eclipse, we have Mostar as the yellow Zerg. And the bottom work. And in the bottom left corner of Eclipse, we have Champion once again heading up the... Actually, I think this might be Mustard. I thought it was Olive, but I think this might be Mustard. The Mustard Protoss color thing. So, what are things we know? We know Champion won a Protoss versus Zerg on the right side of the map. We know they won a Protoss versus Terran on the left side of the map. But can they win a Protoss versus Zerg on the left side of the map? This is scientific. This is how you learn things. You have to check for all the variables. So if Champion pulls the 3-peat here, we know scientifically they can play on Eclipse. But actually no, we haven't accounted for PvP. We don't have PvP games to watch. So I guess scientifically we'll know that Champion can play PvZ on Eclipse, I think. Either way, that was a scout after a pylon. Overlord's going to take his sweet time getting over, and he's going to come up and he's going to scout that it is, I think, an overpool from the looks of it. And that should trigger him to build, maybe just start a cannon before Nexus and be safe from that. It keeps the probe in the base. Unfortunately, he won't be able to get a Manor pylon done on this map. But he will be able to get the gas steal. 2 drones move out to secure the natural, and I assume, no, just the natural. However, it does look like he technically lost 8 minerals in that. A bit of a miss micro, but we won't judge him too harshly for that one when we get to the scorecards. Okay, yep, so we have the cannon coming up first. I'm going to guess he probably is going to get... Oh, nope, and a gateway coming up. So this is a pretty... I think this is about the correct wall. Yeah, I think this is the right wall on this thing, but he gets a gateway, he gets another cannon, pylon his main, and then his Nexus will be a bit behind, but he should be fine from all these Zerglings coming to kill him. Yeah. He's fine. The Overlord strays too close, it will get shot down, but it seems to have found the just perfect spacing here. This Overlord was a pro Super Smash Bros. Player. You can tell there's some ideal spacing on that guy. And then Champion, he's actually just one basing it. Is he just going one base into just one base Stargate? I mean, it could work. You're getting the Stargate a lot faster, I guess. And then, that's just... I mean, because the timing of Corsairs already gives you a good little chunk of time to kill Overlords before they can really get any defenses out. So if you're just one-basing it, I don't know if Mostar... Yeah, Mostar hasn't scouted down into the natural. I guess he is finally getting it, but his Stargate will be a whole lot faster. Yeah, Mostar isn't looking down, so he might just be thinking that there's a natural here. And we're going to have a very fast... Oh, no, he's getting Dragoons. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I would think that you could get a pretty fast... I mean, you still get a really fast Stargate, I think. I actually don't know what the regular Stargate timing is. I just know when you build it. So this might be just a normal time Stargate, but you're down in expansion. Or it could be a really fast one. I'm not sure, actually. Yeah, it can't be too fast, because most stars seems to be playing pretty standard, and their Hydralisk Den is already on the way. And usually with the regular timing, the Corsair gets up here around when Hydralisks actually come out. Oh, well, Dragoon kills the Overlord, supply blocks Mostar, so maybe that was the plan all along. To scare him out and to deny Mostar the scouting. There's the Sigil of Adun, so pretty standard play there. And this probe is looking out probably to just take a very early third base out in the bottom right corner. Which can be a problem, because that is 400 minerals that can't build cannons to defend from the 3-hatch Hydra. Which is inevitable. Also, this is a really unfortunate cliff spacing. You just barely can't get 2 cannons built on either side of a pylon here. Blizzard! Fix your cliffs, Blizzard. Yep, so here comes 2 Hydras more on the way. So suppose we're going to see, again, this is the second hardest thing in the game. The first hardest is building the pylon, the forge, and the gateway. The second hardest is defending against the Hydra bust. Oh, I'm sorry, Art. Do you think Defilers and Dark Swarm is too powerful? Oh, I'm sorry, do you think Arbiter Recalls are too good? No. 3-hatch Hydra. The best strategy, the most overpowered thing in the game, the hardest thing to defend. So we're going to see if Champion's going to be able to defend it. Well, at the very least, he's going to be able to pick off some Overlords here. Spore Colony will start morphing there, but he is going to lose at least 2 Overlords and get almost supply block. Oh, Scourge come in. There aren't enough Corsairs here to really defend it. They're focusing down on the Overlord, and 2 Corsairs will fall. Overlord does die, though, and more will be needed to replace them, especially as the DTs start coming out. But in the meantime, Mostar's Hydralisk production is hiccuped. Yep. We're getting into the Corsair DT army. The Scourge are going to try and find the Corsairs, and they will. This is unfortunate for Mostar, as he doesn't have the right Corsair count. All 3 are going to die, and now the DTs are essentially neutered because they don't have the Corsairs to scare away the Overlords. Yeah. Well, let's do some quick math. I always forget the exact number. So Corsairs do 5 damage. Yeah, so you need, I think, 6 Corsairs to one-shot Scourge. And basically until you have that number, it's really unsafe to move out. Like once you get 6 or 7 Corsairs, they can't die to Scourge, just period, unless there's a really weird circumstance. Oh, and here's a denial. Zergling counterattack is going to deny this base. Very good for Champion, but it is cancelled on. Very good for Mostar, but it is quickly cancelled by Champion, so he saves some of his minerals. But DTs will move up there and clean them up, and Champion should be able to get it online. Meanwhile, there's just more and more Hydralisks. High Templars are coming out now. However, I don't think Storm has started researching yet. Oh no, and the probe is sent just a bit too. That is a lot of Dark Templar. Okay, that's concerning. Okay, the probe is saved, but DTs are good. But if Mostar brings the an Overlord with his Hydralisks, I mean, he's done a great job at keeping the Corsair count down. So, I mean, the Hydra should be able to clear out a couple DTs. The Invisible Men are not so good yet. Again, here comes a bunch more Scourge trying to pick off 2 more Corsairs. So there aren't many photon cannons. Oh, nope, they try to dive in to see what's in the main base. And they have to run away. They do get picked off. Unfortunately, just couldn't find the Corsair tries to, but the more important thing is that there's a lot of Hydralisks in the main. Mostar has more supply than his Protoss opponent. And in Zerg versus anything, if you have more supply, you're in a really good position. He can come down and start picking at this base, but he does need, and he's bringing the Overlord with him. His Overlord does have speed. So, Mostar basically is in a very good position to just come over, knock on Champion's door, and then break it down with a sledgehammer. A sledgehammer that spits acid and will eat his face off. The High Templars are out, so there will be 2 storms of... Oh, no, that's not good. Huge probe transfer gets picked off. All the DTs walk into the Hydralisk fire, and Champion goes, that's too many. That's too many Hydralisks. GG's, and that's the game. So Mostar is gonna take Champion off of his throne, and Champion just seems, maybe he just can't play PvZ when he's in the bottom left. That's what our hypothesis has revealed. Yeah, I guess a hypothesis. Alright, so those were all the replays that were uploaded for Group 14 and 13. So yeah, that's our cast for the day. A lot of really fun games. Love to see the lower, the lower tier players. Again, sometimes it's just very nice to see some play. Sometimes just seeing optimal play, you don't want to see it all the time. You gotta get a little bit of the spice in there. And these games, they had a little bit of that spice. These Starcraft games, they definitely, I don't know where I'm going with this analogy.